Wrap Party Podcast with Maney and Lorette.
All right, it's a Wrap Party Podcast, everybody. And since Big Al is in the Big Easy, we brought our buddy Capt Jim in, who does traffic locally here for us in Charlotte. He's on the WSOC Tanner in the Morning show. Hi, Capt
and
Jim.
our podcast. This is the second podcast I've been on this week. Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah, you can tell you're really good when they want you to be on a podcast.
You're in high demand.
I guess.
You are in high
When they
demand.
make you do one, that's when you know.
We love talking about things on the podcast, so we don't always get to talk about like on the air.
Yeah.
But before we get to what I brought you in, the reason why we wanted you to come on with us, we had just mentioned that Big Al is in New Orleans, and we took calls from people who either had a good experience in New Orleans or had a bad experience, because somebody we all know told me that she would never go back to New Orleans. She was robbed at Mardi Gras, went and saw like a psychic, and she thinks that the ghost is now living with her, who the psychic was talking about. She's like, it was so hot, the food was
really
overrated,
dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
and they'll never go back. And a lot of people were like, no, I love New Orleans like Big Al, but you said you didn't love New Orleans.
I mean, the music on point. It's definitely everywhere you turn.
That
the music
big
is
band
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of some of the so-called Cajun spices. Never have been. I like spicy food, just not that kind of genre.
Ugh, love spicy.
And the heat. If you take me to a hot, humid place, I'm not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Plus the streets smell like urine.
I forgot about the urine smelling streets.
and you could say pee because it's the podcast.
Yeah, you
so
could, yeah.
That's shit. You could even say shit, it smells like pee because it's the podcast. That's why we love our podcast.
Us too, yeah.
Lorenz swore 4 seconds into last week's podcast, which
Did
was
I?
good. Yeah, or the week before. Or
I
Big
don't know.
Al.
I
Might
think
have
it was
been
Big Al, but
Big
he
Al was
dropped
mad.
like 6
Yeah.
back to back to back, and we were like, damn.
All right, so today, as we record this wrap party, it is Friday, June 20th. 50 years ago today, your buddy Maney wasn't born. That was April 25th, 1975. But June 20th, 1975, Loren, what movie hit theaters?
Jaws.
That's right.
I
Directed
told you.
Directed
Ooh,
by?
I don't know who directed Jaws. Is it Steven Spielberg?
26
Yeah.
years old. It was one of his first movies he directed.
I know that this is the anniversary because I've somehow become obsessed with Cape Cod this year, and
That's where they filmed, like up in that area in Martha's Vineyard.
My Instagram has made me a victim of like wanting to travel somewhere else again. So that's my trip this summer. And all of the research that I've been doing, that pops in there.
Well, the beach is safe. That guy said so.
But Jim, you were born in 1970, so you were 5.
I was 5
when Jaws hit the theater.
Saw it in the theater. I should not have been there.
Do you not have really any recollection of seeing it?
No, not really. I remember. I have recollection of as I was an older child, 8, 9. The Jaws music was everywhere. Dun, dun, that thing, you know. But as for the theater, no, I don't remember much of it. It was I told you this story off the air, but it was a situation where I was at an illegal daycare, basically. It was a family friend and her kids and some other adults, and there was a movie night every week in Chester where it was a double feature. So they'd show a G movie like Bambi, and then a more PG or R movie for the adults. And the idea was the kids would just fall asleep. You know?
Right.
Oh my
and then the
gosh.
adults could stay and watch a movie. Not a bad concept.
That's also how I saw
If the
Saturday Night
kids
Fever.
fall asleep.
Right, of course.
But yeah, so I think that's how I accidentally saw parts of Jaws. I was probably half asleep too.
Yeah.
You know, I was 5.
You don't remember being scared by it or anything.
I don't.
I mean,
You think
people.
I should change my ringtone to that
dun.
for the
Yeah.
actual, like, would that be funny, or would people be like,
Well,
all right.
what's funny is
while you're in Martha's Vineyard, that would be hilarious.
right?
I
That's
would
what I
love
thought.
it.
Okay.
I would think it's great.
Yeah, what's funny is like my buddy who he has separate ringtones for separate people. So like Jaws is his wife.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, so when his wife calls, the Jaws theme rings. But my brother was born in 1968, so he would have been 7. He remembers going to see Jaws, and he was like, at the time, the special effects of the shark, which looks incredibly fake now.
But they were great then.
He was like, at the time, it was really awesome. And he also brought up a good point. My brother Rich brought up a good point and said, you don't see the shark for almost an hour and change into the movie.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Oh, they built up the suspense in that movie. Great.
Spielberg did awesome at that.
Yeah.
At 26 years old, it was like one of his first movies that he directed. And he had the shark on like some sort of mechanical shark on like a track, but it was always broken. Like the behind the scenes stories I hear about
It's just
Jaws.
like the actual ride at Disney.
Broken too. It was always broken. But like my brother was like, yes, that's the first movie that I remember that had really good special effects. For me, the first movie I remember that had really good special effects, it would have been 1983, I think, and it was Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi to me, like I was like, wow.
But I was thinking when you mentioned your brother's age that the first Star Wars in 77 must have been right in his wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
They must have sold so many stupid action figures to you and your family. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But Jaws was great for a lot of, quotes or just sayings that are still around. I mean, you're going to need a bigger boat. Almost feels like it's been around forever at this point.
Yeah. And I watched a documentary on Jaws like a week ago, and they said that was like an improvised line.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah. And then the other thing was that is it Hooper who's the captain?
Yeah, the fisherman, the
fisherman,
hunter, whatever.
And he tells the story of the USS Indianapolis, which is a true story. But like my brother was saying, like he had never heard of that story of the USS Indianapolis, so he had no idea what that was. But that was the ship in World War II in the South Pacific that got bombed, got torpedoed, and sailors were out at sea waiting for help and just getting picked off left and right by sharks.
Oh my gosh, really?
And Hooper tells a story about how he was on that boat, but he survived. And my brother was like, we had no idea that there was this, that it was a true story. Like we thought he was lying.
So he's walking the walk, talking the talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a doll's eyes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good one. I'm trying to think like some other iconic lines that from the movie, like shit. You're right. There are so many.
I don't know. During COVID, I did think of the mayor proclaiming the beach safe. You remember that there was so much stupid stuff going on during COVID that it kind of felt like that. Oh, it's fine. Just it's fine.
Yeah, you never know.
Go ahead, share a glass. It's cool.
Yeah. What about you? Like, what movie, Loren, do you remember where like the special effects were really good? Like, was it Jurassic Park?
Yeah, probably. I would say. I don't know how old I was when Jurassic Park came out, but I was old enough to be kind of obsessed with it. I think I was like maybe 8 at the time, and I loved me some Jurassic Park.
Who directed that?
Steven Spielberg.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Jaws music was so good. It it just your heart races. Now, Jaws 2, couldn't tell you the storyline, couldn't tell you anything about it. Jaws 3.
There's a shark.
Yeah, there's a shark, but Jaws 3, same thing. Like, like I think in Jaws 3, I didn't see it, but somebody told me like it somehow makes its way into SeaWorld.
Is it? I mean,
I think that. I swear, I think that was.
It just became a money grab at that point, right?
Well, fast forward a few decades, and then you've got Sharknado.
Yeah,
which
I know.
is
and there's like
much better.
40 of them.
Yeah, let me see. Yep. I shit you not. A young great white shark finds its way into a sea-themed park managed by Louis Gossett Jr. Workers try and capture it, but they're overmatched. So I don't. That was not a Spielberg, and Spielberg I don't think directed the second one. No, some guy Janaz Wark directed Jaws 2. Years after the shark attacks that left Amity Island reeling, Sheriff Martin Brody, Roy Scheider, who was in the first one, finds new trouble lurking in the waters. Same situation. But, Spielberg was probably like, I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was on to bigger and better things at that point.
And by the way, Jaws 2 came out in 1978. So 3 years later. But anyway, I'm surprised I haven't redone it. With all these remakes.
Yeah. But there's like Deep Blue Sea and Sharknado, and like there are still shark movies.
Yeah.
Like, do we need to do Jaws specifically?
I don't know. And Jaws looks nothing compared to what that giant prehistoric shark is that jumps out of the water in that one of the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh, the Megalodon.
The
or whatever
Megalodon that
it is.
jumps out. Oh my
They
God!
had the Megalodon was a movie.
Yeah, it
with
was.
Statham.
Right.
Yeah, Jason Statham. So they've done a few. That was a really
I
stupid
know, but
one.
you could redo Jaws technically, I guess.
I think we've reached peak redo.
Oh, everything's being remade right
Come
now.
up with some new ideas. You know, it'd be great.
Naked Gun is coming out this
I know.
summer.
I hear it's
told
funny.
you I thought it was funny,
but it's still a redo.
I mean, I do like the nostalgia of a remake, but like, it's got to be a really freaking good remake.
Yes, a remake is different than a sequel too, by the way. But yeah, like the remake of like
name a
Superman
remake
has gotten
that
so
made
out of
it.
control. There's remakes of remakes of remakes.
Right.
Yeah.
But
And we
name a
remember the
remake that
Christopher
was
Reeve
actually
one.
better.
What's that?
Name one that was actually better.
I did like I liked the one that was made with
The second or the remake of Overboard sucked. I'm trying to think of
yeah. No, one of the Superman remake was pretty good. The Batman remakes are pretty good too.
The Ghostbusters remake kind of
The
flopped. didn't it?
Ghostbusters remake was actually good.
Was it good? I heard it flopped.
No, it was good. The whole I loved it. It actually was really good. With they come back, Vakeman and
really?
Spangler, but the concept of it is really good. It's Egon's grandson, and he's like they're in a barn, and they're like, "What's underneath the tarp?" And he takes it off, and it's Echo One. You know, and then they start having ghostly
experiences. Make me want to hunt some
Oh,
ghosts.
and by the way, Egon's wife, the grandma, is the woman who was their secretary in Ghostbusters. They ended up getting married.
Yes.
You find out.
Nice.
Yeah, that one wasn't terrible.
Okay.
Okay, I'll watch it. You've talked me into watching it if it comes around.
Even like Twisters wasn't. I mean, I was really excited to see
The first one
Twisters.
sucked, so
No, the first one was, I think, better than the second one.
Twister was awful.
Although I do love me some Glenn Powell, so
yeah.
I'm not going to complain.
They remade Roadhouse.
Yeah, with Gyllenhaal.
It was
Yeah.
okay. That was actually okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all set with that. I'm waiting for them to remake the movie Convoy with Chris
There you go,
Christopherson with some real kick-ass trucks now.
Let's make Smoking the Bandit again.
Yes, yes, let's go. Let's do it. All right, anyway, you guys, that's a Wrap Party Podcast. Thanks to special guest Capt Jim for stopping by.
Yay.
He was 5 years old when Jaws came out, and I was just 2 months old. So I didn't get to see it in the theater, but I'm sure it's out. Special release this weekend for the anniversary. 50 years old.
Maybe I'll watch it.
And you should. Don't be too scared. It's the shark's fake.
Okay.
All right.
I'll need someone to hold my hand. Hey, it's Loren from the Maney and Loren Morning Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you've subscribed to our channel and like this video. But if you want to see more content, we've got stunts and more funny show moments.